So a couple of changes tonight. I don't know if anybody noticed, but we changed our venue. Welcome to the Rock Hall. Changed our programming. So if we can have everybody's attention, program tonight will be much shorter because we want you to take advantage of the venue. And before I begin, we have a special guest tonight. I'd like to introduce Greg Harris from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay, hey, welcome everybody. Come on, welcome to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio. I know the Mayo Ball has a long and storied history, and we're truly honored to be hosting you for the first time here at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. As Sean said, my name is Greg Harris, and I have the distinct honor and privilege of being the president and CEO of this great museum. So I want to welcome all of you. I'm also kind of pleased you're letting me crash the Mayo Ball, because I stand here as the grandson of Rita Connolly and Jim Harris from the County Kerry, not from the County Mayo, but I'm still welcome. So we're honored you're here. There's a lot of things that are going to happen tonight. There's some honored guests that will speak, but the museum is open all night long. So once you have your dinner, have a few drinks, maybe a little bit of coffee, make sure you see the exhibits, okay? On this third floor, there's a theater it's 32 years worth of induction footage done by the great Jonathan Demme, the great filmmaker. It's a 20-minute show. It's going to run at 9:30, 10, and 10:30. Don't miss it. The theater is called the Connor Theater. And the reason it's called the Connor Theater is your guest of honor tonight, Chris Connor, and his wonderful wife, Sarah Connor, are wonderful supporters of the museum. Chris is the chairman of our board, and they made that theater possible upstairs. Can you join me in thanking them for that? The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is 22 years old. People ask me in the reception when we opened. We have had 12 million visitors in this museum. So if you haven't been here in a while, welcome back. If this is your first time, enjoy it. And I want to give you a tip. In addition to the theater, there's one other thing that I'd like you to see while you're here. Now, since it's the Mayo Society, don't miss the cars hanging there from U2. Don't miss the U2 exhibits downstairs. Don't miss things from Van Morrison. But there's one other thing that I want you to make sure you see before you leave here. When you walked onto the museum plaza, you were walking on our main exhibit hall. It's underground and goes all the way out to the road. So when you go downstairs and in the gallery, you're going to go by blues, gospel, country, and R&B as the roots of rock and roll. So it's Muddy Waters, it's Hank Williams, it's the Soul Stirrers, all this great stuff. Then you get to Elvis. And Elvis is the shot that was heard around the world. After Elvis, you're going to go to a space that has Memphis, that has Jerry Lee Lewis, Johnny Cash, Carl Perkins, and Elvis right there. And there's Motown. But across from that, there's a gallery that I want you to see. It's a big case that has Chuck Berry, it has the Everly Brothers, it has Buddy Holly, it has Fats Domino, it has Bo Diddley, all artists that you know. But dead in the center, there's a photo of a man at a microphone with crutches, and his name is Doc Pomus. And you know all the other artists I named, but you've not heard of Doc Pomus. Bob Dylan called him the greatest American songwriter of our time. He wrote This Magic Moment, Teenager in Love, Viva Las Vegas, and 50 other great songs. Next to that photo, there's a wedding invitation. It's a wedding card that says his reception will be held at such and such a place at the Waldorf Astoria in New York. And on that card, I should say he has crutches because he had polio as a child. And he used crutches throughout his teenage years, through his adult life, and then a wheelchair. And the wedding invitation is from his wedding, and he sat at his own wedding and he watched his new bride dance with the best man, dance with her brother, dance with her father. And he couldn't dance with her. And he wrote, "Save the last dance for me." And then he went home that night and he wrote the song. And I share that because when I said, "Save the last dance for me," those 6 words, you all heard the song. It doesn't matter where we're from. If we're from Chicago, if we're from Galway, if we're from California, we know that song. It connects us. And that's the power of rock and roll. If there's one thing you see tonight, see that invitation with the original lyrics to Save the Last Dance for Me, and know that rock and roll connects all of us. It crosses borders, it crosses boundaries, and it's the most powerful art form ever created. And you're in the home of it tonight, right here in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm truly honored you're here. Have a wonderful evening, and it's my pleasure to introduce Jerry Quinn. Come on, Jerry.